Hey there. So I was thinking about the post that I put up yesterday, and if you didn't read it, go back and look at it about deadheading flowers and why it's important in terms of our consciousness. So, what I was talking about in deadheading is how we cut the dead flowers off so that the energy from the plant can go back into its nourishment and flourishing and flowering. And if you don't, it dies away faster. And how I was talking about how that sometimes is really what's underneath, well, most of the time, what's underneath when we're cycling around and we seem to not be able to get past a certain point, and we get into this place of, I'm banging my head against the wall, I can't seem to change this, I'm really ready to move forward, why won't this change? I cannot give you the sheer number of examples I have from not only myself, but working with others for the past 12 years. It's crazy because it's actually one of the most common things. So we sit here and we go, I want to move forward. I want to get out of this relationship. I want to change. I want to change my job. I want to move someplace else. I want to change my home situation, my family situation, any situation, my financial situation. But no matter what I do, nothing's changing, right? So if you've been stuck there, because most of us have, in consciousness work, it all comes down to what's inside. And unfortunately, it really is taking the mirror and turning it back on ourselves to say, so then what am I holding on to? What dead energy am I holding on to that is preventing me from being able to flourish and flower in this other direction because of that dead head, that piece of me, that the habit, the thing that's comfortable, but it's a known evil, even if it's not the best, right? Because it feels good and it's easy, right? To the ego, anyway. That is one of the most challenging things for us to get past in terms of consciousness. When we start talking about that, when I talk about that with people, when I look at that within myself, when I get to a place where I'm cycling around, then I get frustrated because I know then that I'm holding on to something that does not serve me, that's preventing me from then clearing the path to go in a different direction. So when that happens over and over again, and I'm working with somebody, we talk about the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, right? So if you do everything the same way you've always done them, don't expect different results. And that's just simple common sense. But what's really important here is this. When we look at that honestly, and honestly, I see things within myself all the time. In fact, I just had something come up like an hour ago in a DM interchange on Facebook with somebody where I was like, oh, how did I not see that within myself? That's why this was overwhelming me, and it was because of this, and underneath it is because I started seeing that piece of myself that I wanted to hold on to, an old pattern, an old habit, and I started to judge myself for both sides, for wanting to hold on to it and then wanting to let go of it. So when I finally saw it, I had to sit with it, let the ego have its little temper tantrum and be like, okay, so we know that doesn't serve us, so now let's let that go. How can we make it better? That's how it works in terms of being able to move forward and getting past that stuck point. Because when we do cut off those dead heads, when we do cut off the dead flowers, when we cut off the things that, and see, I'm calling them flowers because they might have been flowers to us at some point. Sometimes it's a relationship, sometimes it's a long-term marriage or a relationship, and sometimes it's just really comfortable, but it's not serving us anymore. And I've worked with many people through that. Sometimes it's just letting go of habits within that relationship. And this can be a relationship like a marriage, but it can also be like a career, like a job, where we are stuck in a pattern and it's comfortable, right? Somebody I know who is fighting to change a job after a really long time, that they've been in the same position for a very long time and have had a series of brick walls that they've come up with, and a lot of it has to do with, well, it's comfortable. I've been here for a long time. I really know what I'm doing. I'm comfortable. I make a really good salary, and I could just stay here forever. And yet the other part of them is saying it's time for us to be bigger and really find our joy and passion. And yeah, that's great, and it's a great building block, and now it's time to come to gratitude and then let it go. The ego's going, yeah, but this is so comfortable, it's so easy, I don't have to let it go. That's what we do inside of ourselves. So then we say, oh well, I am looking for another job, sorta, passively, maybe, but then every job I look at, yeah, no, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. Okay, things like that. Things in our relationships, right? When we go, oh well, you know, I'll never get him or her past this, so I'm just gonna overlook it, I'm gonna ignore it. Okay, you can ignore it. You get to a place where vibrationally it just doesn't affect you, and then it's for you to decide, maybe the pattern of this relationship, either the pattern of this relationship is to change so that we can both be in harmony and in alignment with our full selves while also being in alignment with each other, or if we can't do that, then maybe it is time to move forward on our own journeys. So there's a lot of different, and the ego fears the change. So it's so funny, I go out there and a lot of times I talk about being afraid of change, and many people say, oh, I'm not afraid of change, I'm fine with it. But these little things, so I'm like, okay, but then in discussion they get to this place of, oh, I'm so frustrated, I can't get past this. Okay. And typically it points right back to a fear of change by the ego, because it wants to hold on. It's almost like, I always joke, because like in Lord of the Rings you have Golem going, my precious, about the rings. I always say, yeah, the ego has its precious things that says, oh no, we can let go of all of these things, but not my precious, not my precious. And usually it's the one thing that is the precious that's causing us the biggest blockage. So, ooh, that's my little tip for you. So in that, it's a commitment to looking in the mirror at yourself. It's a commitment to getting presence with it, to say, let me turn the mirror on myself and see what I might see. And there's a lot of other things to do. And then once you see it, you can come to gratitude for how it served you, let it go, and shift it into a different place. And that's when the road opens up, and it'll magically open up. I've seen it happen for myself and many others. So if you need help with that, and if this really resonates and it pings you and you would like some help, getting past the stuck point, let me know. Come and join my Up-Leveling community on Facebook, or send me a DM. I have a fabulous, exciting program coming up that is actually going to help anybody master this. But if you would just even like more information or would like to join on the journey, just even come and join the group or follow me, like and subscribe. Thank you.